Hi, thanks so much in advance for watching, and I wanted to share my story with you and why I got into business. If you've seen my first video, then you will know that I am visually impaired, plus obviously I put it in the title. But 75% of the people who are visually impaired are not going to find work. Sometimes it is because companies don't want to hire us. And there's a segment of the visually impaired and blind population who, for whatever reason, are scared. They don't want to lose their disability income, and they're content. I'm not going to sit here and tell people that that's right or wrong. That's up for them to decide. What I will tell you is that I have had jobs. I will let you know that in my last job, I went through more than enough garbage. I'm not going to make this a poor me story, I promise you that. What I will tell you, though, is that I had the highest quality assurance score in our company. Our calls were graded. I worked with a company that worked with an insurance company. And I was promised a promotion to sales, and somebody there actually made a comment in so many words saying that these bad boys were why I wasn't getting promoted. I did finally get the promotion, but I got sick and tired of getting lied to by my bosses about different things. And face fact, a lot of us have to go through that at our jobs. It's not just me. It's not just people who are visually impaired. Face fact, we all have to put up with our share of garbage from our bosses. It happens. But when it got to the point where it was affecting my performance, and I'll give you an example. Before all this, it would be, "Hi, thanks so much for calling," and then the name of the company. "This is Scott speaking. How may I help you?" Cheery voice, eager to help, all of those things. And then it got to, "Hi, thanks so much for calling," name of the company. "This is Scott speaking. How may I help you?" You can obviously tell that I had reached my boiling point, had enough. And my members did not deserve that. They deserved way better. And ultimately, I just got tired of it and wound up leaving the company. I liked helping people. It's why I've worked in customer service. It's why I wanted to become a health insurance agent. I enjoy helping people. I always have. If it wasn't for the fact that I was visually impaired, I would have been a police officer. For all the cops out there, you men and women are appreciated a lot more than any words could ever say, especially by me. Again, part of that is because I would have been one of you. The other is because I know what you have to go through. You are much appreciated. Trust me when I say that. Please don't ever forget that. There are plenty of other people out there, who feel the same way as well. But I had just had enough of what was going on at work. I wanted to be the person who, number one, created my destiny. I wanted to be the person that had to answer to myself. And when you're in business, ultimately, your successes and failures are determined by you. Yes, obviously, we need people to have faith in us to buy our products. I don't consider anybody who buys anything from me as a customer. To me, a customer, that just means you're, a dollar sign, you're nothing. When I worked for my last job, I always said, you are my member. It is my job to satisfy you to the best of my ability. I don't know how many times I would have somebody call in and screaming, cussing, whatever, they'd be upset. And by the end of the call, I would get, "Scott, can I just deal with you?" Well, sure, if I'm not helping another member out, Had to say things such as, well, I've got awesome coworkers. They'll be more than happy to help you out. But if I am not helping someone else out, I have no problem with dealing with you. Not in the least bit. My goal was always to leave a better taste in the mouths of my members than what it was when they called. Even if they thought going in that, hey, this is such an awesome company, I just got this little bump in the road I need to deal with, and it wasn't that big of a deal to them, I still wanted to make things better for them. My members took notice of that, my coworkers took notice of that, but yet nothing was ever good enough for my bosses. I would work my tail off, and I'm sure everybody else at one point or another has dealt with this too, where you work your tail off, you know that you should be promoted. Your peers are telling you this. Your members, customers, whatever you want to call them, are telling you this and complimenting you on pretty much every call. You've been so helpful, etc. I'm so glad I talked with you, etc., etc. But yet the people in charge don't want to promote you. And in some cases, and I strongly feel this way about myself, was that I was getting punished for excelling at my job. Well, that's stupid, but if that's the way they want to be, that's fine. I just wasn't going to put up with it anymore. So, again, I want to be able to be the author of my book. I want to write every chapter in my life's book. I want to have control. The other is, of course, as somebody who has worked, both having a business and then worked out worked for other people. A JOB is nothing more than a just over broke. Let's face fact. People are not going to ever get paid really what they're worth. More often than not, companies are going to go out and try to suck as much energy out of you as humanly possible while paying you as little as possible. So that was going on, and it just wasn't just me. It was plenty of other coworkers. I got real sick and tired of people who were brand new. So let me kind of go back a little bit. I got real tired of people, and this isn't anybody's fault in terms of the newer people who came in and worked. But we had people who were in member services. Then we had people who were in sales. They hired a brand new sales class. I was a part of that. But then they hired people in that sales class as well who were not with the company at all, who just come from other jobs. They were allowing those people to stay in sales. And if you worked on the member services side, they told us it was supposed to be based on performance, attendance, and all those different things. Same criteria that they were supposedly going to use for who got promoted to other positions. No. They lied, and if you worked in member services before, guess what? You went right back over there. You kept your pay at sales, which wasn't much. That was the other thing. We were getting underpaid. You look at a lot of insurance companies, you should be making about 17 to 18 bucks an hour to start. A lot of companies will even pay you 20 as an insurance agent to start. Because we were outsourced, we were only making $13.50 an hour. You go and you look at the type of work that we did in member services. I've had people with other companies that have told me straight out, for the amount of things that we had to do in member services, we're severely underpaid. It's not just simple things like where's my ID card or when does my plan start. You'd have instances where you'd have to deal with billing. You'd have instances where you'd have to deal with claims. All sorts of things. In most companies, in fact, I'll give you an honest answer. I'll tell you who it was with. I had interviewed at Anthem. They were going to pay me $14 an hour just to go look at claims. And that was the only thing I was going to ever have to do. Here I worked for this other company. Had to do a lot more, and yet I was making a lot less than I should have been paid. Again, that happens to a lot of us, right? So I wanted some type of financial freedom. I wanted freedom to be able to be in charge of myself and not have to deal with micromanaging bosses who, I mean, it was so bad where they'd have a walkie-talkie. I'll give you an example. Scott Reese has been in the bathroom for 15 minutes. Is that valid? What? Give me a break. We're not junior high kids. We're adults. Okay, if you're at work, you're there to do a job. Right? I totally get it. I totally respect that. But that's ridiculous. Just stupid. And so that type of garbage was, and it just wasn't me, it was other people. You know, you may have to submit an email off to corporate after a call. You'd hear somebody on a walkie-talkie whining because, or even worse, some idiot from corporate calling up and whining and yelling at you to get back on the phone. Well, no. Look, I'm going and I'm emailing corporate. I'm doing about two other different things on this call. It's going to take a little bit of time. So, but they were more of, geez, we only seem to care about quantity, not quality. And then they wondered why there were so many members who were upset. Well, there you go. So, at some point, we all reach our boiling point with where we're working. And so that was the other reason I decided to get into business. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, any of that, feel free to leave them. I'll be more than happy to get back with you. As always, again, thanks so much for watching. Make it a great day, everyone.